Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back for another update for my devlog. This is going to be number 3 for the game that is still not yet named, but I'm making some progress and excited to share what I've been working on this week with you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you to my first 15 subscribers. If you are watching the channel and you subscribed, liked, or commented, it really is like so motivating to see the feedback and that people are enjoying what I'm putting out, even though I'm pretty much free format. I'm not editing and just kind of giving you what I'm working at because I just want to share this and put it out in the world. And it's helping motivate me and make something, coming back to doing it. Even though I already want to make it, it just helps. And if you guys have ever built a project like that and felt like you're working on something alone, you know that it helps to have someone kind of know that someone out there is interested, or even just like saying, hey, I feel you, I'm in the same place, or whatever it might be. But let's get into some of the things that changed this week. If you see here, I started doing some more work on the menu. These buttons are going to be the upgrades. They're very much placeholders right now, and they're going to change like completely placeholders, but I kind of started building the system and thinking about the design, which still needs to change. I'm not really a big fan of it right now, but we're getting there. And you can see I have the stats built in now, and they're actually pulling from the stats menu option here. So they're actually pulling from the player game object now in real time. Anytime the menu's open, you can see it'll awake and updates that menu. So that's pretty cool. And that's doing that in real time. And yeah, I got some really exciting changes. I think even though they're not major, and I'm sure you'll notice them right off the bat. But I'll go into them one by one so you guys can see. A lot of it has to do with art, but there are some new game changes I have made. I'm just going to, right now, if I hit escape at the menu, so that's popping up if you can see here now. It's not the full correct menu yet, and but I just did it for an example. You can see as you level up the character with the experience bar, that pops up and gives you your menu. You can now see that the pentagrams have a new glow effect. I edited the art in the SVG form, added some bloom, and I actually added a pixelated version. And if you step back, or if you look down here, you can see it's now registering as an AoE effect. So it is now an actual spell. I gave it like a simple particle effect, and if an enemy runs through it, it does damage per tick based on how long they're in there. So, and you can see them, the effects happening, and it's kind of random. So it kind of like ticks, and if there's an enemy in there, it takes damage, if that makes sense. And it's on a cooldown, and it spreads randomly around the map around where your player is. So it's completely random, and it's not something you can target, which I thought made it more interesting rather than it just popping down near you. The art style is continuing to evolve. I added bloom to the well, first of all, there's a new currency. I was talking to my brother, and we went back and forth on some of the runes that we had down in the last video, and then I actually designed some more, a few more that were this color and style, and we said, hey, you know, we like the moon. The moon kind of seems cool, and it makes it more universal if you can see the same moon. Like it kind of makes more sense if people are looking at that rather than different currency, because they'll know like, hey, this is a currency. So what I plan to do is actually, I was thinking maybe I would either do a few different shape moons, but then I'm thinking, oh, a easy way to switch it up is just make the runes rotate, the currency runes rotate when they're spawned onto the ground. So that's probably what I'm going to do. It's like an easy solution, and I can use the same graphic for everything. I also updated the graphic on the crosses, made them spin faster, and added a little bit of bloom to them. And if you see that little fireball coming out, that's a new spell. Right now what it does is it's just a bigger spell, more powerful, and it does an explosion effect. And I think I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. I might add a burn, or either like when it explodes it does AoE damage to stuff that's around it. So one of those two things. And if you see the bullet, if you can see it, it's pretty hard to tell, but I added some particle effects to that too, but it moves so quickly that you can't tell. But I think it like made the animation look a little bit better. I mean, it shoots so fast that it's hard to tell. But I kind of think, well, you guys can let me know what you think. I think it made it look a little bit cleaner when I look at that. Let's see here. There was another thing that I want to show you, guys. Basically, for the coders out there, what I did for the on trigger, this is a cool function that you can use for colliders. So basically what I did on the, let me pull it up so you guys can see. On the, let's see, I need to go into my weapons and then the pentagram. Now if you look at the particle system, you can see we have a particle system. It's pretty simple. Basically I just have the color, so I'll leave it up for a second so you guys can see. A high emission, the shape is a cone, and all this stuff. So that's all it takes to make this particle system. And then on the pentagram itself, I put a circle collider. So that's all it takes. So basically, while that's on the ground, if an enemy comes within this this collider, it'll know that and it'll say, hey, it's hit, and then it kind of ticks the cooldown and does that over and over. And I added a small cooldown in here so it can't just like go off thousands of times, like every time there's an update. Then it would just like basically insta kill the enemies, so you have to add some sort of cooldown so they can't take a lot of damage really quickly. And of course this will be brought back into the player stats in the end when we start taking the stats on the player into effect. And you can see there's a bunch of stats, and that's what we saw in the menu. So the plan is to make each spell, like all these stats kind of have a way to affect each weapon or spell independently. So as you're getting power-ups and leveling up, you can kind of have these different builds, or like choose how you want to build based off of stats. So instead of like somehow how the other games do it, it's like you're leveling up weapons and stuff like that. This will be more about, hey, you're just trying to build your player stats in a certain way to make them powerful and affect a build in a certain way. So if that makes sense, that's, and you'll also you will have to unlock certain spells, like that's for sure. But basically, and those will be dropped randomly. But the stats will affect basically everything, and how your gameplay is will depend on that stuff as well. But overall, I'm really excited about it, and I think, you know, good progress for the limited amount of time I had to spend on it this week. But once again, thanks to everyone who's watched, subscribed, and we'll see you next week. I'll try to do an update next week on what I work on then. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video.